Hey yo, welcome back to episode 37 of me building in public and distilling everything I learn into these weekly videos to help you live a more fulfilling life, build more wealth, build more happiness into your life. We just had a swim down at the beach. It was very seaweedy and not very nice. But we're at my grandparents' place in Geraldton. They live just across the road, so I duck back, have a shower, get changed, come back here. Welcome back to Monday Diaries. By the way, thanks for all the love on the recent videos. I know they get less views per video, but I feel like the depth of viewership is so much greater. Those are like one big core concept that I talk about and go into really detail on. So yeah, check that out if you haven't already.
Shit feel like it came straight out of a fever dream. Now I swear I'm having a nightmare. But you smile at me, say you're proud of me.
Alright, as always, I'm going to do this in one take. It should be less than 10 minutes, so do whatever you need to do. Just listen in if you want. But I'll have some visuals on the screen to accompany what I'm saying. And first up is always the Art of Mondays update. So we've had 254 applications for membership so far. We have now accepted 39 members. So we had a few new crew come in on this intake. Heaps of conversations and leads in the pipeline. But 3 people that chose to take a leap and see what's inside. So pumped for those guys. And the average age of members is 27. And we, as a company, have done about 140, close to 145K in revenue since launch this year. We're going to add another section for the Founder Sports Club update because that's a new product that we launched. We currently have 296 members for that. That's people that have given us their payment details, but they are all on a free trial. So nothing's rolled over yet, and I'll update you guys what that turns into in terms of monthly recurring revenue, but also some really great lessons from launching that and feedback and iterations that we want to make straight away for next month. So more on that soon, but personal brand growth update on the screen right now. I'm at 6,829 on YouTube. That's up about 186. Instagram is at 150.1, just staying above that 150K mark, but I lost 250-ish followers in the last week. TikTok 329.2K, that lost 150, and Art of Monday's Instagram is keeping us alive at 5,671 people, and that's up 725 from last week. So a lot of growth there, but that was also largely due to running ads for the Founder Sports Club. So I'm anticipating the Art of Monday's Insta just to keep ticking and growing, especially as we ramp ad spend. That's just going to start flying. So it'll be really interesting to track though. So honest update, I have been pondering life a lot recently. We've been here with my grandparents for almost a week now, and the plan was just to come up the coast. They live 5 hours north of where I live in Perth, and just slow down and do all the old people things and reflect a lot. And we actually had an offline day yesterday for the first time in a while, and that's where we literally don't look at a screen the entire day, laptop, phone, TV, anything. So that was epic, and I felt really in flow doing that and really open and reflective, and I encourage you guys to think about doing the same, as daunting as it might seem at first. Business-wise, I mentioned the sports club launch. The launch actually went really smoothly. The lead up went really smoothly. We ticked off the 100 people on the wait list, and then 100 initial customers for the first intake, and then now, like I said, 296 members, but starting to see the little cracks that are showing, and some of those are, for those who don't know, the sports club is basically where you sign up, and we, on the first of every month, we'll match you with 3 other founders in your city, so you guys can go catch up, play sport, network, but do it, while being active. And the most obvious change that we need to make is that it is kind of adding unnecessary admin to people's lives. Initially, the idea was just to introduce them, then they go and find a day and a time that works for everyone. But as soon as you have 4 people in the mix trying to coordinate, it's just a nightmare, especially via email. Maybe a WhatsApp group would be better, but instantly changes and updates that we want to make to improve that, because we're already seeing a little bit of a drop off on memberships, which was to be expected anyway, but wanting to minimize that as much as possible and just make the experience better for everyone. So lots happening there. Outside of that, we just booked, or we're literally today booking, another Lombok founder house. I know a lot of you guys who listen on this came in through the Lombok video that I made a few weeks back, and we're running another one because the demand was definitely there for it. In fact, if you want to check it out, if you're a founder and you want to come and hang out and spend some time with us, of course, it's always member first. They get first preference. They get it at cost price. That's a huge value of Art of Monday's membership, but there may be other spots available and worth a chat. So drop a comment and I'll send you the details when they are available. We're just about to book Cape Town as well. So hopefully that goes through this week, and that's going to be in February. So that's a few months off, but also something to get excited for. A big win for me was kind of unexpected. I had the last couple of weeks, I just had a lot of like small side gigs come up and opportunities come up. And many people don't know this, but I don't make any or much money off social media. I very intentionally set it up that way because for me it's an outlet to create art and enjoy the process, but also I didn't want to rely on it. I feel like that sort of income is very unpredictable. It's very hard to have predictability when you're just waiting for people to appear in your inbox and offer you brand deals and things like that. So I've always opted to create businesses that my community and audience and social media can help to grow. So that's kind of the model that I've adopted, and it's worked really well for me so far. But in saying that, there are still opportunities that come up. There are still brand deals that come up, and I take very few of them, but there's some really easy wins. In fact, this month, I think I'll do close to 10K in revenue with less than a day's work, which is a wild thought, like that, the ability to have that sort of leverage. Of course, it's taken many years of work to get to this point, and it's just a timing thing. They all happen to line up at the same time. But that's things like sound ads. So artists, or at least agencies that represent musicians and artists, will come to you and say, hey, can you use this sound in your next reel or TikTok, and we'll pay you for it. And it's super seamless because it doesn't look like an ad. You're going to make videos anyway, so you may as well just use their sound if it's cool sound, that is. So Alina's had ones like Billie Eilish's songs and stuff like that. So when it's cool like that, it's super seamless and easy to make money doing it. And the other things that came through were just like little editing gigs where people just want to license my footage or my videos for their own companies. And sometimes it requires a little bit of editing and tweaking, but it's all footage I've already shot, and it takes less than an hour each time. So each of those gigs are a grand or two, and it just adds up. So that was definitely a big win for me, and kind of a nice reminder to not lose sight of that stuff. Like, it can be a real, if that can cover my lifestyle and living costs, then Art of Mondays can be my full focus for just building momentum and growth, and not worrying too much about paying ourselves, which is kind of the case right now. We don't pay ourselves enough to live off with that yet. So it's nice to know I can live for the next little while. Okay, over to the big idea, which is also probably the title of this video. And as I mentioned before, I'm in Geraldton, staying with my grandparents, but my auntie and uncle and cousin also live here. They're like 2 doors down. And we had dinner the other night, and we spoke about a bunch of stuff, and I just kind of wanted to share it. Related to business, my uncle is a serial entrepreneur, and he's done a bunch of different stuff. I won't get into those stories today, but he's got a lot for you. Maybe I'll sit down with him before I leave and share some of them. But he spoke about this idea of being able to completely change your path in order to follow the best opportunity. And what I mean is, if you really dumb it down, if you wake up in the morning and you choose to go to the gym or not go to the gym, it's a very clear choice, right? And going to the gym is going to better your life, and it's the right opportunity to take. One level up is, say you're in business and you have 2 different products that you've launched to the market, and one of them is clearly better than the other. People want it more, they're willing to pay more for it. It's just a better seller. It's also an obvious choice to then go and double down on that product, and maybe let go of the first product altogether because it's not as strong of an opportunity. And I guess like the next level from that is, as a business as a whole, you maybe you're going down this one path for 3 years and building this business, and then suddenly this new opportunity comes along that you didn't have available to you before, and your ability to decide and know which decision is the best decision, and then roll with that new opportunity. And I experienced that firsthand last year when I shut down the agency that had previously been doing $1 million a year. I stepped away from an e-commerce brand that was doing over $1 million a year. And both of those, in different ways, great opportunities, but not the opportunity. And I'm making a bet. I'm really making a bet on the future that I've chosen, which is Art of Mondays and this sort of content and the realm that I'm going now. And so far, the payoff definitely hasn't been there. We're too early in the process to tell, but basically my ability to make that choice will lead to very, very different outcome in my life, projected years out from now. And he sort of mentioned that it's something I really see in my uncle, is that he has really had that ability to completely change the way you're doing something, despite maybe having invested 3, 5, 10 years. And it's this concept called the sunken ship fallacy, or at least it relates to it, which is when you feel like you've invested so much time into something, it's very hard to then move into the next thing and fully, quote unquote, give up on the first thing. It's the same when you've like made a trade in the stock market and it's going badly and you're still active in the trading, you're down bad, and you really don't want to cut your losses and sell because you feel like you've got all this ground to gain, and it's basically a loss that you're just guaranteeing. But you really got to remove emotion and make clear choices, and those choices have to be for a future version of yourself, years in the future. And so that's something that I'm trying to really actively do and reflect on a daily basis. And that was a bit of a ramble, to be honest. I don't know really where I was going with it, but I just wanted to share one more lesson I'll leave you with. And I can't say too much about it because it's a project my uncle's working on and it's not my place to share, and it's still very much in process. But he's working on this new product and new technology that's like really going to be revolutionary in the medical space. Afternoon. So he's working on this new technology, this new product, and the runways is mapped out for him. It's basically, if all goes to plan, it's going to be hundreds of millions of dollars in a very short amount of time. And the core of that whole opportunity came down to the product. It didn't come down to how good he is at marketing or sales or distribution or creating the product. It came down to how good the actual product was, how badly people want and will pay for this thing. And it's such a nice reminder because most of my career has been in like a saturated agency world where, technically speaking, everyone can do the same thing. Everyone can ultimately deliver on the same product. And if you can truly find your unique proposition, your unique value that you bring to the market that nobody else can bring, that's the key. If nobody else can bring that, that's what really makes you unique and makes people want to buy your product. You don't have to actually be unique. You just have to position yourself as unique and be perceived as unique. But yeah, it's just something that I've literally spent hundreds of hours thinking about, and I still haven't got right with any of my current businesses or previous businesses. I think I've found nuggets and bits and pieces, but never really nailed it. And I think you figure that out and you make a product so good that people have to have it. As cliche as that sounds, that's when you really win and the big opportunities come to you. So I'm going to leave you with that. All the links, my socials, everything you want to know is in the description below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.